I'm ready.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalia Baluk. With me is Serhiy Shovkaliuk, and I will present him in a little bit. Welcome to the first live interview within the volunteer project Ukrainians Talk. Ukrainians Talk is a series of interviews with citizens of Ukraine about their work, passion, volunteer experience.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
My name is Natalia Baluk.
now I can hear myself.
With me is Serhiy.
Now it's better. Sorry for that. We will talk about their reflections about the war, future plans, and everything what is about their lives. Ukrainians talk about what they know, do, see, and feel. And today I have a really great person with me on the call in this interview. Is Serhiy Shovkaliuk. I know him for quite a while. I would not say how many years, but this is the person who has really extensive experience in publishing house. He is the head of the 450 Volunteer Help CSO. He is also an activist, a patriot, a diver, and a parachute jumper, and a lot of things that he does at the same time. So Serhiy, welcome to this interview. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Serhiy, could you please tell me what else should we or listeners and viewers know about you before we start going to the interview?
Actually, you told almost everything about me. And one more thing, I'm lieutenant of Ukraine Army Forces.
Thank you for this very important detail. So how does your work look like now?
Sorry?
How does your work look like now?
Actually, right now I've got 3 jobs. First is being a head of publishing house, because we realize that we have to launch our economy to make the company work. And right now we are printing. We are printing books despite the fact that we've got the war in Ukraine. Second, my job is a volunteer organization. So I've got a group of friends, of partners, etc., who joined in an organization in order to help Ukraine armed forces, to help hospitals, and to help civil people in Ukraine. And third job is armed forces, of course. Right now I'm waiting for a new battalion. And I hope in a couple days we will go to East in order to defend our country.
Wow, that's a lot of combined, actually. I would like to come back to the first piece of the job that you said regarding the publishing house. How it is to lead a business in the times of war?
It's not easy, but it's possible, and it's very important, because it's very important for people, for workers, for partners to know that life doesn't stop, that we are working, that we making our economy stronger. Because if my company works, it means that we make tasks for our suppliers, for our partners, and so on. And of course, it's working places for people. And first wave of shock during the first 1.5 months of the war, it was total shock. People, they get lost, we don't know what to do. And when you're calling your partners under artillery strikes, so they heard how bombs explosion somewhere, but you're talking that, okay, guys, it's okay, we've got the war, but we need to think how we will work, how we will live further. And as soon as these busters were thrown back from Kiev region, we launch our enterprise, and yes, we printed. Of course, we've got problems with paper because 95% of paper that we use comes from Europe. A lot of companies, they are afraid to work with us, but I've got some Zoom calls with their with these companies, and like, here I am. Yeah, we've got war, but I'm here. we know that we will win because there are no any options, because we throw them back from Kiev, so we almost win, but we need some time. But we don't need to wait until a victory, because it may take some time. So we have to start right now, and a lot of them, they heard me, and we are working.
That's wonderful, because indeed the businesses are probably the primary support right now to Ukrainian government and the citizens, because we have to keep moving and going in order to sustain. I know that from the start of this war, you have been volunteering quite a lot, and you mentioned your organization. And I imagine that you're quite busy just with this second or third job, or I would say primary job for now. So how do you manage to do all of this? And maybe you could talk a little bit about the NGO that you're heading.
Actually, I started volunteering in 2014. So when we've got a first phase of the war on the Donbass region, but I was doing it from myself, and I've been doing it for 8 years. Like, so I've got some connections with hospitals, with of my friends from army. And on the first day of second phase of full invasion of these busters, I just went to hospital and I said, okay, guys, what help do you need? And I start receiving calls from my friends that, okay, we are going on the front line, we need etc, 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 etc. And then I realized that I won't be able to do it by myself. I send my family in the safe zone and start calling my friends who stayed in Kiev. Okay, guys, let's do something. Because we've got a huge alliance of guys who wanted to serve in army. So when we come to when come out, I don't know how it's called in Ukraine. It's center when you can.
I guess you did come, but you were not allowed to serve. Yes, too many volunteers, and
we come. We saw a line like in 300 people waiting. I was like, okay, okay, okay. We'll wait a little bit. So let's do supplies. Yes, and we started. We create organization of its friends of friends. Yeah. So and we start making supplies for our guys who were on the front line.
Mm-hmm. Serhiy, your volunteer organization is called 450. Can you tell us about the name of the organization and what's the philosophy behind it?
It's 450 is a military sign that means that everything is calm. So it's a signal if you like send it on the radio 450, it means that everything is okay. So that's why I chose this name, and there is a very old song called Yellow Tape, and there are words from the song that everything is 450. That's why I choose this name of organization.
Well, you said that you work with army people, with hospitals, and with civilians. So I guess for them, you do bring this "everything is fine" sign behind it when you help. Can you say maybe a few areas that you help these different people with within your organization? What in particular did you?
If we are talking about hospitals, it's medical equipment. It's medicine. It's on the first days it was water and food, because all supply channels, they were broken and new one wasn't established. That's why it was like doctor calls me and said like, okay, we need a lot of water because we got a lot of guys. For civilians, of course, it's also medicine and food, because in especially in regions that was occupied by these bastards, there are almost nothing. So they tried to took everything. And for example, if we are talking about Dimerka, it's near from Kiev, from Brovary, so they can easily got some supplies from there. But if we are talking about Chernihiv, it was a very big problem. So we just come to the village, and people, they were looking at us like, guys, we're so thankful that you are here. Maybe you've got something like, and usually you've got some food for you to eat on a trip. And I looked to my partner and said, okay, take everything.
Wow. So you basically provide the essentials, the food, the water, and
yes, it was on the first days, and in regions that were deoccupied. Yes, it was essentials. Water in village not so, but for army, water is very important, because you don't have time to to collect it somewhere. You just need to have a bottle, put it in your gear and go to fight. And of course, for military, it's uniform, it's night vision, scopes, different gear, and etc., etc., etc. And we deliver it directly on a front line, so we don't deal like in with those battalions and divisions that are not engaged in the right now in the combat. Yeah, so we are dealing only with those who are in combat, because situation about Ukraine army, it's much more better than in 2014. So usually all soldiers, they've got uniforms, they've got bulletproof helmet, bulletproof vest, but it's a minimum that can that gives them opportunity to conduct their tasks. But it's not enough to make a job in a proper way, because you need at least you need a second complete of uniform to wash first one. You've got some, you need some extra shoes, because when you're coming from the battle and you're in wet shoes, it's not so on. And you need night visions, you need optic, and etc., etc. And when I've put a night vision system on a position, and next day I've got a text message from their commander that thank you for night vision, we destroyed 3 artillery system with help of this night vision. I said, fuck you. it was the best my best investment in my life. So I said I spent $5,000 for this night vision system, but it was great investment.
Well, yeah, and I guess it's the right away feedback. You deliver it and you receive the feedback that is already in the works. But I understand that when you go to different locations, and especially closer to the front line, there are a lot of people in need. And my question is, how do you feel that you can help many, but not all? How do you understand that you want to help everyone, but you cannot? And how do you make this decision?
Let me explain it. I think it's right now for me it's very easy to tell, but I think it will be very hard for listeners to understand it, because the way how you are thinking, it's changed. So if we've got a request from our army, if they are on a fight, they've got everything. If they like in a Lviv region, just preparing, just thinking, okay, guys, hold on, we'll come to you when you will be ready, because we have a lack of ammunition and a lack of everything. So on the first case, we will give it only for those who are in direct contact. The same thing is with civilians. So we are not sending any help in Chernihiv and Kharkiv right now, because there are a lot of other organizations that do the same. So we're sending all our help is only on those regions where they really got a problem, and they've got problems with delivery, because they usually on the air strikes, artillery strikes, and so on. And
so do you understand you correctly that you basically have partners in different regions, and then you kind of decide between the partners that if this region is covered already, you try to cover the other region, not to
yes.
cover the same needs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we've got a discussion with my friends about this, and they said, okay, there are a lot of volunteers who can go on a green zone. So it's like military slang that red zone, it's combat zone, where is action right now. A yellow zone, it's like maybe, and green zone then maybe sometimes could be artillery strike, but artillery strike could be like over in Ukraine. So we consider like, okay, the rest of Ukraine is a green zone, and we are working with theirs who are in yellow and red zones.
Yeah, it's so-called a relatively safe zone, I call it, Ukraine. You cannot say it's safe, but it's relatively until the rocket hits, unfortunately. Yeah. We can laugh about this now, I think, but throughout this 3 months, I mean, the emotions were different, for sure, for myself as well, for sure. You know, for these 3 months, there were probably different decisions that you had to make. So can you name maybe the most easy and the most difficult decision that you had to make during the last couple of months? I guess no easy decisions, yes?
Easy decisions. Actually, I think almost all decisions are easy, because it's very easy to make decision when you know that you're doing right thing. So if it's right thing, that then it's easy decision. And hardest decision, I think it's sending other people to do their job, because when we've got evacuation civil people from Chernigov. So it was a period when Chernigov didn't have any ground connection with territory controlled by Ukraine armed forces, because it was divided from it by a river. And we, with the help of our guys in Chernigov, we created a channel how we send their equipment. On the way back, we took people. And it was one day that I wake up in the morning and I have very high temperature. It was like almost 40 degrees, and like I realized that I won't be able to go there, because in this condition you can make a lot of mistakes, and the price of this mistake could be very very big. And I sent other guy there, and usually on the front lines there aren't any connection, because bastards, they trying to destroy infrastructure, and they've got a special rep system. It's machines that turn off connection, and those 5 hours while he was rescuing people, for me it was the hardest 5 hours in my life, because I know that it could be artillery strike, it could be direct combat with bastards. And when he calls me, he says everything like okay. I said who, and said I just asked another question was how many? Just how many? The result he said 100. And so for these 5 hours, they saved 100 people from Chernihiv.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a big number, truly. Thank you for sharing this. You mentioned before that you also had to send your family far away from the place, from Kiev, from far further from the front line. How was this decision to make for you?
Actually, very easy. I called my mom and said that today you are leaving from Kiev. It was on the third day, because first 2 days it was a huge panic on the roads, and that's why I said, okay, let's check what is going on, because bastards, they were moving very fast, and we wasn't sure about safe way. And on the third day, when we realized that okay, this road is safe, it's a green zone, okay, you're just living right now. And the same with my girlfriend. I just said, you've got 2 hours to pack and to leave Kiev right now. He said, oh no. I said 2 hours. And for my mom, she said, I don't want to go anywhere. I said, okay, I won't talk to you if you want to leave. When she returned to Kiev, I asked why. She said, I can't be there. I want to do something. I just said, okay, don't call me.
Yeah, it's always not an easy or decisions, actually. When you understand you have to be separated, and it's not because of your will, but because of the events.
But it's the right thing. That's all.
Yeah, we have been talking a lot about war, that though it hurts for all of us. And I would like, to ask you the following question, because we will have already have the viewers from Europe, United States, from Asia, and other places around the world. A lot of people hear about Ukraine. They hear, because Ukraine is on the news, you would hear Ukraine a lot in the different talks. But some of the people would know Ukraine pretty well. Some, they just get acquainted with Ukraine or our country right now. How can you describe who Ukrainians are for those who just don't know about anything about Ukraine, or just start their opening Ukraine for themselves?
I think 80% of Ukrainians are heroes, 20% of Ukrainians are bastards. It's not good, it's not bad. It's, I think, almost every country, almost every nation, they've got heroes and they've got bastards. So I heard a lot of stories about people who moved from Ukraine, who went to Europe, and who behaves in a way that we are who stayed here, we're ashamed about it. And I've got a lot of my extra friends. After our victory, I won't give them a hand because
interesting. So it sounds like a Parental law, like 80-20. So let's talk about this 80%, which are
because I know that one of my friends, he had a call from there and said, "Hey man, what are you doing here in Ukraine? Because only losers and alcoholics remain in Ukraine." And he said, "What? Don't call me anymore." And this guy, we're talking about guy, my friend. When war starts, he was abroad, and he spent 2 days to get into Ukraine. 2 days to get into Ukraine because he said that if I'm there, I'm nothing. If I'm here, if I'm doing, if I'm helping, I'm up.
Thank you. Let's imagine that you will receive a call after the war ends and we get the victory. You will receive a call from a person, I don't know, say it from Netherlands, and saying, okay, I wish to visit Ukraine, but in peaceful time, it would be my first trip to Ukraine. What would you suggest to do, see, visit, try?
Actually, I'm not sure about first thing. I think right now, if for them will be interesting to see Chernihiv, to see Bucha, to see all these places where frontline was, and because for us it's like, okay, where we don't pay attention on.
We just got used to this, yes. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, really, I understand a phrase that human is a being that can get used for everything. And when you've got a call that, do you remember that guy? He is killed in action. So, okay, it's bad news, but okay.
How about good things that remain in Ukraine and that the people would be advised to come and visit and try, see? I know anything that you would advise our listeners and viewers to experience in Ukraine.
Kyiv, Lviv. I hope Yalta and Simferopol.
Crimea.
yeah, Crimea, of course. But I think from bastards, there would be a lot of things to renovate and rebuild there. But Crimea has very good nature, and it's worth seeing. And me and my friends, we can't decide where we will drink for our victory, either in Yalta or in Simferopol.
Good idea. Serhiy, coming back to your profession, like publishing house, Ukrainians do read a lot. Books, magazines, I don't know, children read books, and a lot of publishing and actually printed materials. What is your favorite book, or what is your table book that you have near you?
Table book is tactic for small groups right now. Combat tactics for small groups.
What about the peaceful days? What would be the book that you would read or come back to?
I've got a book. It was written by Ukrainian author. It's Повісті Дикого степу.
It's the stories of the land without people. I don't know how to call it.
I printed it right maybe 1 week before work starts. I put it like, okay, I will read it.
Not yet, yes.
Yeah, after the victory.
After the victory, on the stop. But any one good thought or quote from the books that you previously read and you really liked the most and you would like to share with us?
There is a book called Brow to Zero. It's about British special forces in Iraq, and after they returned from they were caught, they were imprisoned by Iraq forces, and after they come back to United Kingdom, and they were sent to psychological test, and McNaffy is the author of this book and member of this team. He wrote that a test indicates that we are all, but psychologists who wanted us to help, they did some help.
That's true. Thank you for sharing this quote. Yes, indeed. You know, I would like to probably ask you one thing that we usually in our lives are proud of something. So what is the one thing that you're most proud of and why?
264 people rescued from Chernihiv.
That's a huge number.
Yes.
I know that you were driving cars and just like small, I don't know, vehicles just to save them. And I know it took a lot of efforts. So yeah, thank you. I think that's a lot of people is proud of this actually result that you received. Let us switch to another topic. At the beginning, I mentioned a few of your hobbies, and I know you for quite a while, so I know that you have lots of hobbies. You are a really, really active person. How do you select your hobbies, and what are your favorite ones?
How I select my hobbies? If it's interesting, I'm in. So everything that drives me, I'm in. Parachute jumping, diving, tactical shootings, playing airsoft, etc., etc., etc. And right now we've got a joke that right now we are doing all our hobbies that we in a civil life we had to pay for it. Right now we're doing it for free. Furthermore, people tell us thank you for your job, and furthermore we've got some salary for this. So it's the best job in the world.
I understand that currently there is a limited to no possibility to practice hobbies unless it is like shooting and stuff like this. So what would be the first thing you plan to do in terms of hobbies and activities after Ukraine wins the war?
I think I will be sleeping for 2 or 3 days.
A good hobby.
Yeah, just ever since I want to just turn off my phone, sleep for 2 or 3 days, then get drunk for a week, with all my friends, combat friends, and so on, and then move somewhere like some beach far away, and just recollect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I was thinking about my hobbies.
Yeah, it's a really good thing to to just take some time off, just to have it for yourself, and then to come back with lots of energy and start something over. If we talk about the future, I understand that a lot of things currently of our daily lives, a lot of parts of our daily lives, they are affected now by the war. How do you think what will be affected in the nearest future, and how?
I think that our life won't be previous, never. I think Ukraine, it should be mix of Switzerland and Israel, always ready for fight, because with such neighbors we don't need any more enemies, and we have to, I think that we, and with the help of our partners from US and all over the world, we will build strong, wealthy, and healthy Ukraine. Because only strong, healthy, and wealthy Ukraine could be a buffer zone that hold these bastards from rest of the world. Trust me, they are not people. Trust me, they are monsters, because what they have done, what I have seen, only monster can do it. That's why I think the only way is to build strong economy, strong army, healthy, wealthy Ukraine. And by the way, I would like to say thank for all our friends, from all our partners all over the world, because without your support for us, it would be very hard to fight with these bastards. It's really, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, indeed, huge support from around the world, and fingers crossed for the prosperity of Ukraine, for the normal, peaceful life. But I wanted to ask you also, I understand that our daily lives are impacted currently, but probably there was maybe a new habit that you established during this time. Do you have any new habits that you have now, and would you like them to continue that? But please, good habits. We all have the live stream.
I don't know why, but always keep your hands clean. Coronavirus. Say hi to coronavirus.
Yeah, indeed. Everyone forgets about coronavirus in Ukraine. Not the right time, I guess.
So you always got a pack of влажные салфетки.
Wet. I forgot the word.
Wet nipples, yeah, wet nipples, and you are always trying to wash your hand with them.
That's true.
Because yeah.
Sorry, the connection. Serhiy, every year at the New Year's Eve, people in Ukraine, they do make wishes. Would you change your wish for this year if you could? And if yes, what would be your new wish?
The only wish I've got, that we had a victory on in this year, and that this victory costs us a small number of casualties.
That's a wonderful wish. I support it. Hopefully it will come true sooner. than later. Do you think that currently people have to build new plans, or they have to wait for the most peaceful times because of
No,
them?
you have to build your plans right now. It's as I said before about my company, that we don't need to wait until we've got a victory, because it makes take some time. You have to build your plans right now, because it's very important. It's very important that people in the green zones in Ukraine, they have to live a normal life. Yes, they have to remember that somewhere on the east there are war, but they have tried to live normal life, because one of the targets of these bastards was to destroy our normal way of living. Hey,
So you said that it's good to you said that it's good to build future plans. So can you share anything that you have planned already for the future? Any not specific info that you can share?
You know, I've got an investment plan for my company, and I hope that investment plan for that in sometime we will realize this plan, and I hope that. No, sorry, it's too personal.
It's okay.
The second part is too personal, yeah.
It's great to hear that you at least have it, and I hope and wish that everything comes to whatever you planned, and to get the result you wish. My last probably question for today would be, what is the one thing that you would like to share or to leave our listeners and viewers with? Any one final thought?
Believe in us, support us, we will win. And remember that supporting army more important than supporting civils, because the stronger army are, the less help civils need. The strongest Ukraine are, the less problems you will have, because Poland and other countries, they giving us their tanks only in one reason. It's better for them to give their tanks for us than to use these tanks in the battlefield on their own motherland. Because if Ukraine falls, Europe will be the next. So believe in us, support us, and thank you for your support.
Super, thank you. That was Ukrainians Talk with Serhiy Shovkaliuk. We talked a lot today about what Serhiy knows, feels, sees, and plans for the future. And hopefully, with start of the summer tomorrow, we will all have the new things to implement in our lives. So thank you for this talk and taking this time. And we hope to see our listeners and viewers next time.